Joseph's Bazooka Joe Valtellini.
Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing Bag Work Edition number 2. The idea of this series is to give you an inside look at the way I use bag work to improve as a martial artist. You're going to hear me say it over and over again. When you do your bag work, it's important that you have a concept, an idea, something that you want to accomplish when you do it. Don't just go in there thinking you want to work everything. Pick something in particular, specific, and continue to drill and work. It's the repetition. If you just go in there all the time and practice different things, you're never going to fully improve. Unless the focus is to improve your conditioning, power, speed, okay? There's different ways you can do it, not just technical based. Today's workout, we're gonna really focus on the shield bump, the push-off, creating space in close range. What happens a lot of times is we end up into this head-to-head range, where a lot of times, yes, you can use your clinch, but a lot of good boxers wanna sit into this range and be able to set up body shots, good uppercuts, shuffles, and angles. So the idea of this workout is to create space with that bump and to be able to attack off of it. Okay, we're gonna use a nice high guard and our forearms to be able to push off the bag, create space. Round 1, we're gonna really focus on the shield bump to using our inside body punches, okay? Create the space, rip the body. Round 2, that's where we wanna implement the kicks. A good shield bump to a low kick, front leg and mixing in the back leg, very important weapons. And finally, in the third and final round, it's all about combinations. Whether you push off, create a low kick to punches, back to low kick, or shield bump to power punch, you have the options. Depending on your style, you're gonna use more than the other. My favorite personally was the push off to the low kick, or to create that space, land that left hook, and then go back to the leg. Okay? The ultimate goal in this drill, in this third round, is to put that volume, put those combinations together. For those who are a little bit more advanced, this is where you can use your stance switching, okay? If I'm using my right side, I might push off my left side, come back, and now I can create a shield bump or create distance with my right side to attack with my left, okay? Try everything out. This is the time to practice, see what works for you, add, take away, create your own system, okay? Enjoy today's bag workout. Some of the things I'm looking for in today's bag work is making sure we're on the ball of our back foot. If my back foot is planted, when I get pushed back, it's easy for me to fall backwards. So I create a kickstand base. So when the pressure comes, I have something to push back against, okay? And that's important because when I create the push-off, I don't want to push with my hands, okay? There's not enough power, there's not enough strength to be able to push my opponent back, especially if they're bigger and stronger. So this is where I got to use that back calf to be able to push off the ground and use this wedge to create power. So now I'm using my legs to be able to push my opponent backwards and not just my hands. The last key thing is the angle of my lead wedge when I'm pushing forward. It's a wedge, so you have to have an angle to it. So if I keep this down, it's easy for me to push backwards, take the shot. But if I'm here now, I'm able to deflect the punches and I can bring that pressure forward. It's like a battle ram coming forward, okay? Now that is gonna let me to push off, create the space, and now I could attack. Round 1, we're using that lead wedge to push off, create space, and attack with our boxing. Make sure you change levels with the punches and the angles. You're going to see sometimes I mix in a shovel punch, where sometimes it's more of a rounder hook. So when power punching and using this wedge, you can see when I use that lead wedge, it helps me set up that rear hand. Boom, boom. Mix in levels. If I want to attack with my lead side, I'm going to wedge off now with my right side, which lets me now use my left hand to mix levels and attack the body. So using the rear wedge helps attack with the lead hand. Using your lead wedge helps you attack with the rear hand. It's important when you do this round to start mixing in combinations as well. You can mix singles, doubles, and triples. You also see how I mix in the combination. Sometimes it's with the same hand, I'll double or triple up. Or sometimes you'll see me go more left, right, left. But always mix in levels. If I attack with the head, I'm going to go back to the body, back upstairs. So mixing left and right combinations mixed with same side combinations. Changing angles, changing levels. It's all about creating space and power punching in this head-to-head range. Remember, push off with your legs. Don't use your hands to create the space. Push with the legs, use the body, get some good torque, power, and rotation. Round 2 now, it's all about creating space with that wedge and using our kicks. Everything we do in our bag work, we want to mix levels, changing the angles. Just like we did in round 1, when you use the lead wedge, it helps you attack with your rear side. If you use your rear wedge, it helps you set up the lead side kick. Sometimes kicking combinations, just remember changing levels. Body, head, and those 45-degree kicks that just get under your opponent's elbows. Those are some of my favorite body kicks. Remember, visualize an opponent, see what you're trying to attack with. You can start mixing in, playing in with your stance changes. You can see when I push the bag, it helps me keep my weight forward. By having that weight forward, lets me get a little bit more power into my low kicks. It helps me really get that shin on my opponent's leg. Round 3 now, all about combinations. Put it all together. You want to use your wedge to either punch to kick, or use the wedge, create space, kick, and then follow your hands. You always want to mix head, body, head, kick, punch, kick. This round here, let it all out. Try to gas yourself. All about power punching, level changing, and good volume. Sometimes you do your bag work for speed. Sometimes it's all about power. Sit in front of the bag, get head to head, and destroy it.